What's up, everyone, and welcome to another Bitcoin market update. In these videos, you will learn how to use technical analysis to forecast price movements in your favorite cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and others. Let's dive into it here with Bitcoin on the weekly time frame. So, starting off on the weekly time frame, we have this rise in price right here that we're looking at. And this weekly candle is going to close in roughly 3 days. So, we're a majority of the way through the week at this point, and what I said last week was it's likely that because of how far we've already risen, it's likely that this week is going to see some sort of a bearish candlestick, and then next week is going to be we're going to start drawing down potentially to form our higher low above the low here from 29,254. And the reason for that is because of the magnitude of the move. So it's a very simple concept. Whenever you're looking for if there's going to be a higher low being set or really a high or a low being set in anywhere on the chart, you're looking for the magnitude of moves. And that's one way you can gauge where or if there's going to be a high or a low being set. And if you know, for instance, that a low is going to be set, so let's say that we start to come down. So this is a basic trading opportunity here. So let's say that this candlestick closes right about where it opened, and it prints a doji candle. So it looks like it's going to go down from there. So once it starts going down, let's say that we want to buy around the top of these candles right here. So what we'll do then is we'll be looking for a higher low to be set somewhere above the previous low here at 29,254. So if we know we're looking for that on the weekly time frame, we can go down to the lower time frames like the daily or the 12-hour, and then we can start looking for where that potential higher low is going to be set. Where are we going to bounce from? And then when that goes down and we start to see volume coming from around that area on the lower time frames, we can then buy in with the expectation that we're going to be forming a higher low on the weekly time frame, and then expect that trade to have some sort of a bounce shortly thereafter with a higher low being set. So it would look something like this. We would come down on a lower time frame, we would bounce from somewhere, and then that is on the lower time frames when you'd be looking to buy in. And then as the price, thought I was still on the drawing tool. And then as the price goes up, to form the weekly higher low, because to set a higher low, it's going to have to come down and bounce. And we know that it's very likely that'll happen because of the fact that we've risen at this point about 60%. So for us to come down and go just immediately to a lower low from this high, we would have to draw down about 37%. Now it's possible for that to happen, but it's unlikely because it's such a large number. So that's why forming a higher low becomes more likely. So then, like I said, if we're looking for that higher low to be set somewhere, we're going down to lower time frames, we're scouting a long entry on the shorter time frames, and then we're looking for that potential bounce that will then take us higher for a profitable trade on the weekly time frame. So right now what you can do is you can scout the opposite of that, which is a short trade. So because of the magnitude of this move, it's becoming very likely that we're going to form a high at some point in the near future, either this week or next week, in my opinion. And so you scout a short entry. So now it's a top fishing play. So now you're going for a potential top. You're looking to go short on that on like a higher time frame, like the weekly. But you're looking for that on the shorter time frames, and we'll talk about those in a minute. And then obviously, then you take that trade down to wherever you want to take, wherever you expect based on support and resistance levels and other indicators you expect it to go down to. So right now, if we look at what we're rejecting off of, it's the level that I've been talking about for probably 2 months now, which is this R2 pivot. I mean, I sound like a broken record, and I'm sure, people that watch these videos, you guys that watch these every day or every week, have just been hearing me hammer home this point of this R2 weekly or yearly pivot. And the reason is because this is a monthly level. So this is a monthly resistance level at the R2, and this is about midway in between the high here from the monthly high and the monthly low. It's about midway in between those 2 points. And so that could very well be our monthly lower high being set right here. And then we come down to form a potential higher low or a lower low on the monthly time frame. So it's going to be up to the bulls on the lower time frames than the monthly, like the weekly, to continue this trend higher in the coming weeks. And we'll see what we get there in the coming weeks. So let's go down to the lower time frames now. If we go to the daily time frame, we can see the two main levels to watch here. So there's really two levels that I'm keeping an eye on. One is this red resistance level over here from our bear trend. So this is where we had a high, low, lower high, and then lower low. And when you have that pattern, that's telling you that the momentum is to the downside, so price should continue to fall, and that's what happened here after we confirmed that trend. And we, drew down, and liquidations took us even lower, obviously. So that's a bear trend. But when you have a bear trend form, what you're also looking for is the last up candle on that last lower high before that down move. That'll signify the last area where people were buying their Bitcoin. And that's going to be the area for resistance on a retest. So that area starts at 48,900 and it goes up to about 51.5. So that's the main resistance. We haven't tested it yet, you can see. That's going to be the area that if we do go higher, I think will be a very strong resistance level for price. Let's flip on the pivots and see. Yep, there is a R2 pivot inside of that level as well. And that pivot is valid until the end of this month. So that will be pretty decent resistance there as well. The other level we have is this light blue zone that I have right here, or darker blue in comparison to the light blue here. And this is our support level here from August 8th. So this is from our bull trend. So it's the exact same pattern that we just looked at, but flip-flopped. So now we have a low, high, higher low, and then higher high in the same candle, and two candle closes above this key high. So once we get that, this level ends up turning into a resistance. And the reason for that is because it was initially, support, because it was initially resistance. So we ran into it here and rejected off of it to form this low right here. And then we came up and closed above this key high. So now this is an area for support, and you can see prices starting to react off of this level. Now we'll go down to the 12-hour time frame in a second and talk about what are the potential scenarios that could play out here. But something I want to point out is two potential things here that are happening. One is the increasing bear volume. So if you look here, you can see we've increased in sell pressure over the last 2 days. So today we had a candle close that was pretty bearish here with above average bear volume and increasing bear volume. And the other thing is the potential for a hidden bullish divergence on the daily time frame that could end up propelling us up to that red resistance level. And that is right here with these two lows. So if you look at this low, this is at 67.97, and this low is at 64.36. So if we end up breaking above this daily high today at 46,250, this hidden bullish divergence will become valid because we formed a higher low on the daily time frame versus the RSI telling us that we should have formed a lower low. So the price is telling us, RSI, we're still bullish. And so that's what that pattern will end up telling us if we break 46,250, the previous daily high right here. So let's go down to the 12-hour and look at what we're dealing with there. So if we're looking at this from a 12-hour perspective, there's something immediate that I want to point out, which is that hidden bullish divergence that we were just talking about on the daily that might print has already been validated on the 12-hour. So you can see right here we have a low right here, and then we have a higher low right here, but the RSI is clearly printing a lower low if we look right here. So that in conjunction with decreasing bear volume over the last two 12-hour candles on this drawdown is what's leading to this rise in price right now. So now the question becomes, are we going to be able to break through this yellow resistance zone right here that we just printed? So if we look at this pattern right here, isolated, we have a high, low, lower high, lower low right here. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that candle closed below it. Okay, well then, hang on one second, folks. Okay, so that 12-hour level is actually not the resistance zone. It's this 8-hour level up here. So the 8-hour resistance level, I guess it works out better anyways because this purple level right here is an 8-hour support that we're bouncing off of. So I talked about this 8-hour support level over the past few videos as well, and you can see that this level is holding as support here as well. And we're potentially going into this yellow resistance zone now in the coming day. Now, remember, we need to go above 46,250, which is the high of this 8-hour candle right here. So it's right inside of that yellow zone. So the question is going to become, if we do hit that yellow zone, do we reject right at the bottom of it, or do we go above that candle's high? And then in which case, we might just blow right through this yellow resistance and close above it. So I'm going to be watching this level very closely to see how we react to this level and to see if we form that daily hidden bullish divergence I was talking about on the RSI. Because if we don't, if we reject off of this and go down, the other scenario that could end up playing out is the price action will be contained within this daily candle, the previous daily candle, because we won't break 46,250. And then over the next few days, we may push right through this blue zone and close 2 candlesticks below it. And if we do that, then this blue zone will end up becoming a resistance zone for price. And then it becomes more likely that we're going to, that our weekly high has been set. Because then at that point, we're forming a lower low because we're going to be breaking below this low here. And we'll likely, because this is resistance, then flip this to be a bear trend with a pattern like this, where we close below it, we come back into it to form a lower high in comparison to this one up here, and then we come down to form potentially a lower low. So that's what I'm going to be watching for if we don't go into that bullish scenario that I was just talking about with the 8-hour level that I was talking about there. So that is all I got for this video, guys. If you like this video, give it a like down below and subscribe for future educational content around cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. And if you haven't already, check out our Leutheria Telegram channel. This is a free global community that you can join, and it is full of crypto enthusiasts like yourself who are traders, investors, yield farmers, and a ton of other things as well. A ton of people that you can learn from. And we do weekly chats every Sunday where we discuss a variety of different cryptocurrency related topics. Members of the community can ask questions about really anything they want. And we discuss a variety of those different topics every Sunday. So make sure to join that. There's a link to join that in the description below. And the last thing I would say is check out our Leutheria Signals channel. This is an exclusive Discord channel that we just launched where you can get exclusive access to all of our trading ideas related to Bitcoin and Ethereum. And so you can get 24/7 access to that using the link in the description below. And subscribe to get educational content as well, where we'll be talking about daily setups, different things like that. So check that out as well. And until tomorrow, onward and upward.